Hey guys, this is Willie Dog here, and I'm just here to, just do like a little podcast kind of thing, but it's just more of a recording basically, and also talk about what's happened in the past year in 2022 and what to expect in 2023, whether it be for projects or anything else related to me. So, 2022 for me this year was okay. It was somewhat, at least, an improvement of the last 2 years, although it may be kind of a stretch for a lot of people, but for me, it was slightly okay. I'm not saying that because of my 18th birthday. No, that's not the main reason. It's just because of other things, especially of a whole lot of things that I've accomplished and just other positive things that have happened in this past year, and that's what marked it to have a okay impact. Okay, now I might as well just start off with the projects. Anyway, so first and foremost, Max Tonight Nostalgia Attack. As some of you don't know, Max Tonight Nostalgia Attack is getting a huge update, but not just any update, a full recode and also a basically a graphics overhaul to where we have to where the characters have been touched up. There has been shadows added and some other goodies that I think you may enjoy. And me, Piggy, and the rest of the NA team have put our heart and soul into this new update, and I think you guys are really gonna love it, especially some surprises that we have planned. I'm not gonna say what some of these surprises are because I honestly want to keep them secret by the time of recording this. But if you already know by the time this is already out, then congratulations, you already know. But that's aside the point. But obviously there are more projects planned after Nostalgia Attack's update is finished, like the Lost Ones the end of Disney. I know I need to get back into that game someday. I I originally was going to see if I can get it released in this year, but I screwed up. A lot of things got got in hand first, especially with school. Because as some of you don't know, I'm in my senior year, and it's a big deal for me because this is practically my huge bucket list, and I want to do a whole lot of things that I can before I graduate high school and move on with my life. But it doesn't mean that I'm just gonna distance away from everything that I'm doing on the side just for school. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna do that. That would just be kind of upsetting if you ask me. But nonetheless, I still do good in real life, thankfully. Aside a few bullshit moments. All right. Another project that I also would love to talk about is Treasure Island: The Collection. It is a special, huge project that me and a couple of friends are doing, including Ozchester, which you also may know as Oswald64. Somebody who was going to make a remake to Mickey's Pizza Club, but obviously that game got canceled because leaks from people that I'm not bringing up because all they want is attention, and I'm not going to give them the attention. But what I'm going to say is that it was canceled because leaks, and it hit a dead end. But thankfully we're doing another project, and we're having a lot of fun with it, with no trouble whatsoever. And one of the main things, obviously, with this collection is a full remake to Finale 4.0. Some of you might like it, some of you may not. It's okay if so, but obviously that's one of the parts that I'm helping out with mostly, especially how with some certain characters in the game, I've made a brand new design for Inhuman. Instead of him just instead of him just being just Mick with just with just with a human arm and what else he had. Just a plain old Mickey. He's actually an actual amalgamation. But I'm not going to give out too much detail though, because I want him to be a surprise. And I think you guys are really going to like his new design that I gave him. Ozjester loves it. Piggy loves it. Everyone in the collection team loves him. Even I do. Okay, though to be fair, with the collection, I am also helping out with other things besides 4.0, especially with me being the co-director. But that's one of the things that I'm just excited for. It's just I think it's gonna be pulled off well. Okay, last but not least, Billy's. Good old Five Nights at Billy's. This is one series or project I've been ambitious for. Now, as some of you may not know, especially for newcomers, I've made a series called Five Nights at Billy's. And some of you are probably going to type down and say, oh, you copied my idea, you copied my name. Listen, now, get something out first. One, a whole lot of games are going to have the same name. Two, not all of them are directed around the character with said name, because they're obviously a different character. And three, a whole lot of different ideas, bucko. A whole lot of different ideas. So, FNAF is basically a fan game series that I started creating since 2018, where it's basically just like a made-up reality where it has not only, just a made-up reality with me along with some of my friends, while having my characters being there, owning their own restaurant. And then you already know the premise. It's FNAF. What do you expect? But obviously, it also involves with demons, so there's that too. Lost Woods? No? Okay. So to be fair, I also throw in some other random shit in there too, like Crash Bandicoot characters. But thankfully, unlike some other games who just throw in random characters in there, I actually gave some characters a reason why they're there. So basically, for this, it's basically almost like a multiverse thing. Think of have y'all ever seen some MCU movies? Like think about Doctor Strange or whatever. Think about Into the Spider-Verse. Think about that. It's kind of like that in a way, but it's just a made up reality that came from my ridiculous head. I don't know, but that's basically it. Although it could be worse. It could be Finance and Sonics. Changed my mind. So with Billy's, I'm planning on making a full-on reboot to the whole story, especially when it comes to the timelines, to have it to where it makes sense. Because I was 14 when I was making the very first one back in 2018, and things have slowly changed, especially with lore, and not to mention some other things like some canceled games. B4 is no exception, because B4 was canceled because I wasn't having fun with it. Like, everything felt forced, and I just wasn't having fun with it anymore. So that's why the game got scrapped. I tell a lot of people this, even on Game Jolt, the reason why it was scrapped, but for YouTube, there you go. There you go, YouTube. Obviously, with the fate of B4, I can say that it was kind of a good thing, because it takes me back to square one, as well as revamping everything entirely and have the finest abilities that I want. The games that I want to bring to life in my own vision. Although I still would have feedback and all that, obviously. Because I'm not gonna be like that one narcissistic person or anything. No. Even with that, even if I do consider or fully consider to only have just original characters, I would have no problem with it. Because I already have a plan for a plan B, basically, especially for one of the characters that I made for the scenario, which is basically a Samoyed character named Zoe, and she will be a scientist character. Even if she doesn't show up in the Billy series, she'll show up in some way, shape, or form, even for just a doodle. Another thing that I could also add on to the topic of Billies is that the new character models will have some more details, or at least with that being planned, aside from shadows. Kind of like with Nostalgia Attack, but just with no outlines. I don't know. I'm not. Sometimes I don't really work with outlines aside from stuff like NA, but that's beside the point. Most of the characters are going to have a whole lot of stuff added onto them, especially for more effort put into it, and while I'm having it to be aimed to be my best FNAF game, aside from what I was originally going to attend for Billy's V3, but that also got canned. But that's the main reason why the Demon's Plan will be a full-on reboot to Final Fantasy Billy's 1 and onwards, because it is the very beginning of the whole new story that I'm coming up with, and hopefully it'll be wrapped up neatly in the very end. Alright, I see it, now I'm thinking about other plans. So, for content, oh no, I'll be around sometimes or whatever I feel like it. I don't know. I usually just don't really fully care, to be honest. Although some people can say that I'm bullshitting, even though I'm not. I do it just on the side, really. Just nothing too much. Just I don't know. Out of my side right here, aside from a certain era from me that I honestly do not want to talk about. If you know, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. With what I already mentioned before, with my senior year at high school, some more vlogs are planned, especially some pre-recorded ones that I edited in Final Cut Pro before I left the classroom that had Final Cut Pro in it. And yeah. But nonetheless, aside from that, it's not going to stop me from trying to get some vlogs out there, especially from field trips and all of that. But, at least I got a game plan after all. Alright, I think that might wrap up the most part for this little podcast thing. Been going about 13 minutes of me just talking. But what do you expect? It's a fucking podcast kind of thing. There's bound to be talking. I may have throwing some random stuff in here just to make it a bit more entertaining. So, NA Willie can probably just go ahead and put in something right here. While I'm talking right here. Pre-recording Willie. Yeah, I think that might wrap it up for this right here. So, hope you guys will have a happy new year. Happy 2023. And let's hope and see if this will bring justice into the future, some way, shape, or form. If not, then we're going to be here for a long ass while.